Welcome to Ramblin' Egg. I'm your host, Craig Carroll, back for more, where we discuss all things Mad Cow Ramble and beyond. What a weekend. We were in Three Rivers, Michigan for the third annual Frosted Fat Tire Relay Race, one of my favorite events of the year. I think it's one of everyone's favorite events of the year. Little side note, Josh and I are the only cows to do all three. Big shout out to Mark, Jamie, all the staff, all the volunteers for getting that course ready after postponing a week due to flooding. This year, we were happy to be in snow. The course was fast. At first, we got there, did a pre-ride, and tested the corners out. It was a little icy, but overall, it was pretty cool. Haul ass on the straightaways and don't slide out on the corners. But it was a lot of fun. I was skeptical on running my Jumbo Jims. Brand new set. Big shout out to King James for hooking me up. Got my bike ready. I had great, I call it gription. Had great gription on the corners. And we had a blast up there. We had 4 cow teams. My team, Cowmageddon. I am so proud of these guys. We took second place. And for those that don't know, the last 2 editions, we were in third, which is an honor. I love my trophies. I'm looking at them right now. It was quite a shocker at halfway during the race that we were in second. I thought we were in fourth for a while, but sometimes it can happen when people are announcing over a PA. You don't know where you're at. But from the start, we had a great race. Chris Kane, the ghost cow, superb, on fire. That guy can ride. It was awesome. Got a great start. He didn't panic. A lot of people start too fast. I think he put in 3 laps on his first rotation. Usually we go longer, and the longer I do this race, I realize 1 or 2 laps sprints seems to work a lot better. Now, of course, it all depends on the transition area, how many people, and the conditions. This year's conditions worked better for smaller laps. Our next teammate, Jeff Ruppnow, was second to go. I get a lot of questions, or I've received a lot of questions on how we got Jeff, since he's not really on our team. So I'm just going to answer that. Jeff dates Heidi. Heidi was approached by Tess to race the women's cow team. Jeff was already going to be at the race. Heidi offered, hey, if you got somebody, Jeff would love to race. That way Heidi could race for the women's, and they were ready for victory. We'll get to them in a little bit. Jeff killed it. He ran studded tires, so it was great. It was fun watching him hit those corners without any worry. Me, I was kind of like, oh, am I going to hold? The tire's bouncing. Luckily, I didn't go down. But Jeff did a great race. Super cool. Super mellow, just hammer. He was having a blast. He actually asked to wear a cow outfit. He's like, well, they asked me. It'd be cool if, everyone wears the same thing. And it was great. So thanks to Jeff for wearing cow gear. Same with Heidi. Third up was Josh. He put in some great laps. I went out for my first 3. Felt great. I'm just going to say I love my Carbon Farley. And it was a little tidbit here. Last year, I just got that bike. It was my 4th warranty. And I cracked it on Frosted Fat Tire, which was just crazy. I was a little nervous this year. But you know what? That's why they have a warranty. There was a section on the course. There was only a little sprint hill, and we're talking 2 seconds. Right before it was a low period and they had a bunch of water. So they drained it, and they cover it back up. So it was a little muddy. So when I rode over it, dirt particles were hitting the bike. So I'm like, oh, I broke my frame. I thought I was cracking it. Later on, I was like, oh, okay, that's all it is. But the good news is there are no cracks on the bike after the race, so I'm still being happy. But, man, that bike was awesome. It was one of the best days I've had on a bike. And when I say that, that means it's a good day. It was definitely a no-chain day. My lap times were very consistent. We were killing it. Time went by. We're in third. We're in second. We're in third. Are we in fourth or are we in third? Eventually halfway point, we're in second. Little did we know we're chipping away at the leaders. And in fact, Josh finished a lap and they went over to tell Josh, hey, they have you guys wrong. We're a lap up on you, not 20 seconds. We're a lap plus 20 seconds. Josh goes and tells me. I'm like, yeah, it could be, I've seen this before. So we just focused on racing. We're getting, the race is 100 laps, half-mile track. We're at like 80 something. And one of the volunteers comes over and tells us, you're 22 seconds behind. And we gave it our all, and we slowly chipped around. I would do time splits when I wasn't racing, and it was up to 30 seconds, 24 seconds, 30 seconds. We just hammered those last laps. Jeff finished off our 100th lap, and we lost the race by just 17 seconds. But nobody was upset or bummed. Second place, we were thrilled with that. In fact, you never know who's going to show up to a race. But second place we are very proud of the guys. It was a lot of work. I actually trained for this race. The last 2 years, I was kind of working my way into the year like, we're going to have some fun, which, of course, it's always fun. But this year I wanted to throw a number down. And it was nice that you could see the benefits of all the training. So really keeps me motivated for the rest of the year. So first big goal of the year checked off. That leaves 3 cow teams. Next up, Bovine Express. Buzz, Spartacus, a.k.a. Bob, Schultz, General Lee, and King James. Jamie and Schultz filled in for Tim and Tree, which is great. Those guys took 7th place, and in fact, they missed 6th place by 1 second. They had a great race. I have to give credit to Schultz. We talked a little bit about strategy every year on that race, and single laps. He kept saying that before the race. Very proud of those guys. They killed it. It was just awesome to see the teamwork between everybody. Third cow team, more cowbell. Jeff, Michelle, Travis, and Josh W. Big props to the cow signs on their backs that said more cowbell. Big props to them wearing cowbells. Big props to 8th place, by the way. You guys are simply awesome. Well done, well done, well done. Thanks for racing. Thanks for smiling. And thanks for being you. Your cow gear is in, so can't wait to see you in cow colors. I saved the best for last. The women's team, Cow Savages. Tess, Christina, and Dawn returned for their 2nd year. Now they had a 4th, Heidi. If you don't know Heidi, she's the president of Combo in Columbus, which is awesome. She's one of the fastest mountain bikers around, which is awesome. She's very cool, which is awesome. And she got to race with the Cowgirls in cow gear. Isn't that awesome? Last year's race, the girls came from behind, almost won, and only had 3. I was excited. This is really the reason I came back. And usually I only do 3 events, and I never go back. I don't know why. I like 3s. I think I'm going to go back to Frosted next year. But anyways, I waited all year to see what these girls could do. They lined the first racer up for each team, neutral lap, and then it starts. So Josh notices Tess's wheel is flat. So Tess is getting ready to start and doesn't know that back tire is flat. And of course, she weighs like 20 pounds. So we're all panicking and yelling. So the racers come through the start, and Tess is, luckily, she's near the back, and stop. And she's looking at us like, why? Luckily, Christina, they tagged. Christina took off. I grabbed my spare wheel, and we put that in her bike. Now, the funny thing is, Heidi did not have a fat bike, so they were sharing bikes. So it wasn't just Tess. It was also 2 racers that would have been messed up. So one thing, always bring spare wheels, and it's another thing to have the same teammates that ride 11 speed. So luckily, many of us do. So it all worked out. I was happy to give Tess my wheel. The rest is history, folks. The women killed it. They were, in fact, like 10th overall during the race. I'm so happy. These girls are just savages. That's right, savages. We will be back next year for the 4th annual Frosted Fat Tire. 6 cow teams? 8? 10? Put it on your calendar. Love to see that many cow teams going. It's a blast. I love the whole trip. Okay, new week, another race coming up. That's right. Next 3 Sundays are Mad Cow races. We're doing something new this week, something different. Going to race from Farmersville. I got up at the butt crack early of dawn yesterday, drove down, 21 degrees, It was actually quite beautiful out there. All the frost in the sun. And, of course, all my gear, I actually used the bar mitts. My hands were smoking hot, which was great. Went down, recon the race loop. It is definitely it's going to be a challenging but fun loop. The gravel sections are, have some potholes, and it's fast. Then the pavement sections, you have some really good hills. Actually, the way I'm running the course, the first mile is all gravel, dirt, flat, fast. Then you're on pavement. You have to climb, grind up. Then, around the 3 mile mark, you get a downhill. It's actually a mile downhill. Right turn after the creek, back on gravel, goes right to pavement for this 1/10 of a mile wall. And it's about 10% with a max of 14 in it. Once you're over the top, it's like 2 miles or so to the finish of the loop, which is downhill. So there'll be some strategy. I'm just going to say ride steady watts. If somebody pulls ahead by a few seconds, you're going to get them back. But if you go too hard, you're definitely going to get dropped. So that's the secret. We're going to do 5 laps, 30-mile race. We're going to meet at the Farmersville Jackson Township Park. Plenty of parking. There's a Porta-John, which helps everybody. We're rolling out at 9:30 sharp. 1 mile warm-up, and then we'll start the race. So hope to see everyone there. If you haven't registered, you have to do online. For those that are worried about getting dropped or not winning or just afraid to, they're going to be slow, do not worry about it. Just come out. This is all fun. It's great training. I hear it a lot. I need to get in shape. Well, this is the way to get in shape. We're all out there having fun. Sure, it's a race, but it's fun. It's all fun. No money. Nobody's earning anything. Get your butt out there and get in shape. It's January. This is the time. This is the place. Where else are you going to go? Get off that couch. Do it. Do it, folks. That wraps up this edition of Ramblin' Egg. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned. The guests are coming soon. Keep the rubber side down. And as always, ramble on.